What's going on, everyone? So today we are briefly going to discuss what exactly happened to my 2008 Subaru Legacy GT. So if you did miss my most recent video here, let's just take a quick look back to see what happened. And so we are out here in a parking lot right now, and I've got some pretty upsetting, unfortunate news here. My Subaru Legacy GT is not starting right now. So we were basically on the highway, and I was in fifth gear, about 55, 60 miles an hour. And I noticed that I was able to push down the gas pedal and nothing really happened. Downshifted into fourth, nothing really happened. Still at about 55, 60 miles an hour. And I was like, what the hell is going on? And then my car didn't feel right. So I was like, let's pull over here. Let's get to the next exit and turn into this mall parking lot to see what's going on. So in short, my turbo failed. I knew that night once I brought my car finally to the shop that it was something with the turbo. But it was also one other thing that essentially caused the turbo to fail, which we will get to shortly. So with my car in the shop, everything needed to be broken down. Every little compartment that touched oil needed to be cleaned out, flushed, and made sure that there was no little metal shavings or anything around which could possibly damage the engine. And I know some of you may be thinking right now, oh, your turbo blew. There's probably so many metal shavings all over your engine. You're screwed. Your engine's gonna blow up. Now you just have a ticking time bomb on your hands. And so with the car being in the shop and all that labor, I decided to do a couple other things. The first being the timing belt and the water pump. So my car does have quite some miles on it. The body itself has about 185,000 miles, but the engine was replaced and it is roughly just about 100,000 miles old. So it was definitely time to take care of the timing belt and water pump. So I was originally going to go with the Gates kit, but I did do some research on the forums and saw that the Gates kits are nothing like they used to be and have actually crappy, not quality parts in them at all. So then I did some other research and ended up going with, I think it's called Aisin, A-I-S-I-N. It's a really good company and they have some really good quality parts. I did read up on the Gates timing belt kit that a few people installed, and within not that many thousands of miles, it broke. And I'm not trying to go through that. So I went up and purchased the Aisin timing belt and water pump kit. I also figured, why not? Let's open up the exhaust a little bit more, and I purchased an Nvidia catless downpipe. So I'm super excited to finally be going catless with my Subaru Legacy GT. Also in the shop at this time, I had them throw in some NGK Iridium one-step colder spark plugs. Figured, hey, we're there, just throw them in right now. Because on the Subaru WRXs and the Legacy GTs, it can be quite a pain in the ass to get to the spark plugs and change them, even though it's not a super big ordeal. But on these cars, it is so friggin' tight to get into there, move the battery out, the intake, everything like that, and just get your hands in there, and it's still pretty much a bitch to get in there. But if you are looking to do spark plugs for the WRX or the Legacy GT, I will put my video that I made a while back on exactly how to do that. So back to the turbo. I'm sure you're thinking, man, I really hope he upgraded the turbo and didn't go back with a stock turbo. So I did stick with the VF40, VF46 OEM turbo replacement here. Yeah, I know, what a disappointment here. Probably like, what the hell? You have the perfect opportunity to upgrade, let's say, to a VF52 turbo, some 750cc injectors, a bigger fuel pump, and be pushing a hell of a lot more horsepower than I would right now. And I will explain why I stuck with the original stock turbo in an upcoming video very soon, so please stay tuned for that. So I picked the car up from the shop and immediately came home to install the Grimspeed 3-port electronic boost control solenoid. I will be putting out a video on how to install that and what exactly that does, so definitely keep an eye out for that. So my car wasn't running like garbage, but it wasn't running fantastic. On my way to the shop, I figured, hey, I probably just need a tune, everything will be good. So we were not able to tune the car that day because the car wasn't running right. Within, I would say, 5-7 seconds after putting the car up. These guys are fantastic at EFI Logics. I definitely recommend, if you are in the New England area, definitely check them out for all your tuning needs. They are fantastic and they know their stuff. I've been there 3 times now, and every single time I've gone there, whether it's been for a 2-hour time or a 15-minute time, I've taken out a ton of knowledge. So there are some great guys that really know their stuff. So within 15 to 20 seconds, Corey saw that the car was not running right, went into the computer, looked at a couple numbers, and then found out that the AVCS left was actually stuck at 25. So basically the AVCS oil supply lines running all through there the cam was stuck or broken. We weren't really sure at that time. So we took out the solenoids just to make sure that they were good. We hooked them up to a battery. They moved, so they were all good. So it was either the cam gear was broken or the cam itself was stuck. So at that time, I was freaking absolutely pissed because what? I just finished and got my car back that was supposed to be fixed, and now I'm here at the tuning shop and now I couldn't even get a tune. It was not EFI Logic's fault at all. They were doing their job, and thank God they didn't tune the car. So if you guys are going to a performance shop for a tune, just do some research. There's definitely some guys out there that really don't either know what they're doing or don't give a shit about you and just want your money after the tune, and where EFI Logic's is not like that at all. So there will be some tuner guys that literally won't give a shit if your car is running terrible, will tune your car and not be responsible for what happens next. So definitely do some research and make sure you are going to a very reputable tuner. So obviously I was beyond frustrated at this point and basically went right back to the tuning shop. I got there right before they closed after running left and right the entire day, and let's just say, make it short, I went in there and said, listen, I didn't come in here and ask you guys to do 50% of the work here. So it was complete bullshit that I still had problems that were not and should have been addressed. So the shop in which I originally brought my car to get fixed finally realized that yes, they needed to take responsibility for this. I wasn't gonna double pay or pay again to take my timing belt off for you to get in there, figure out if it was a broken cam or if the cam was stuck and whatever. So what it ended up being was, yes, the cam was actually stuck and it was sludged up and everything, and the ports and everything were sludged. So they fixed that, put the cam back in, everything was fine. Finally, I was seeing that the AVCS left and AVCS right were both 0 upon not your foot on the pedal, and then once it got onto the pedal, it moved accordingly. So that was finally all set and done. So the cam and the AVCS lines all sludged up are what essentially caused this turbo to get starved from oil and fail exactly like it did here. So if you do have a turbo Subaru here, I would definitely recommend taking the screens out of those banjo bolts, also staying upon your car with maintenance, oil changes, check your oil all the time, and if you do have a high mileage turbo, I would definitely replace that before anything else can happen, which would definitely cause way more money than what it would to replace your turbo. So I would definitely swap that out if you do have time. I will also be making a video on how I will now be proceeding with my oil changes, what I'm also going to be doing in addition with my oil changes, and you'll definitely want to check that out, so please stay tuned. So where exactly are we now? So my next tuning appointment is set for this coming Friday, so I'm really excited to finally get this car back and up and running. So let's just quickly go over what we have done to the car. So I have a Cobb SF short ram intake. I have a Gimmick Motorsports 3-inch catback exhaust, now with an NVIDIA catless downpipe. I also have new one-step colder plugs, and then we have now the Grimspeed 3-port electronic boost control solenoid. So let's throw some guesses down. It's not going to be any huge numbers here, but let's throw some guesses down to what the horsepower and the torque is, and let's make it fun. I'll throw a little giveaway for the person who gets the closest to the horsepower and the torque numbers. So next video is going to be an install and how to put an electronic boost control solenoid onto your car. And then the final video after that will be bringing this car to the shop, getting it dyno tuned and seeing what those numbers are, and finally getting this car back right and enjoying the car. So thank you all again for watching this video. I hope I answered all your questions and cleared up what exactly happened to my 2008 Subaru Legacy GT. So if you are stopping by for the first time, please hit that subscribe button. If you enjoyed this video, please slap that like button. I hope you all have a fantastic day, and I will see you next time. Take care.